Hi guys, today I'm making kiwi and apple compote with absolutely zero refined sugar. So the first thing I need to talk to you about is how to sterilise your jars really well. So this I actually found when we moved in and I thought, let's keep that, this could come in handy. I'll show you how it goes together, but this part here I can't use today because I have a what do you call it, a cuisinière, which is just a normal gas hob really, and this does fit on, but I think that the legs are so tall that my flame will not be hot enough for my huge container. So normally what the French do is they put what's called a réchaud under here, which is one big gas flame underneath, and you can turn it up really high. You can still buy them in the shops, I've seen them. I don't have one of those, so I'm going to do it differently. So it's not beautifully clean looking, there's a lot of lime scale in there, but for me it's just about getting the glass really sterile. So I don't think that matters too much, it's not going to touch the food itself. So this bit goes in, like so, all the way to the bottom. Then you have your thermometer piece, which I've cleaned. I took the thermometer out by unscrewing the base, and then you feed that into the hole. Okay, so you can check what temperature your water is, and then your lid goes on top, like that. There we go. So I'm hoping to get that up to at least 95 degrees. Fingers crossed it works. Okay, so I've got it on my biggest ring. I had to empty some of the water because it was seriously heavy. So the whole point of this bit here is that you can lift all your jars up at once out of the water and get hold of them easily instead of sticking your hand in boiling hot water, which is very handy really. So I'm going to fill up the rest of the container using this bottle, as mine isn't on the floor. So I've got my flame going right to the edge so it can be as hot as possible. So I added in an extra 10 litres of water, and you can see I've left space at the top for bubbling and boiling. Thermometer in place so I can see it rising. I've never done this before and I love doing things for the first time, so this is really exciting for me. Learning something new. So I was talking to my lovely French friend a few months back, and she was talking about not using sugar in her jams and compotes, and she said if you're going to do this you have to boil your jars for at least 45 minutes solid, and what that does is basically gets rid of any bacteria, because the sugar is a really strong preservative, and as I'm not putting that in I have to use this method of intense heating, and then they'll last for years if I do it correctly. So it's already starting to rumble away, but while that's getting hot I'm going to start washing my jars. I've just noticed the thermometer, the red line, is starting to rise, so it's on about 38 and it's been on nearly 10 minutes. 44, it's going quicker now. 47 and rising. So I've done some different size containers, large, medium, and these baby ones I'm going to use for a little Christmas present for my daughter. So these bocals here are a little bit smaller, a bit more like a normal jam jar size. So my plan is to put the bigger ones in first at the bottom and then the smaller ones on top, and the baby ones in any of the gaps that are left. So it's on 55 degrees, and while I'm waiting I'm going to start preparing the fruit. So when I've made jam before in the past, other ways you can sterilize is to stick your jars in the dishwasher nice and hot. That's a quick easy way to do it. Another way that I used to do is I used to turn all the lids upside down, pour boiling water in them and fill up each jar with hot water. This way it's a bit less of a waste of water because it all just stays in this huge container and I can use it before and after making the jam. So when they go in empty, I'm going to leave them with the lids undone so the hot water can go inside as well. You'll notice that some of the rubbers are orange and some are red. Now, I'm not making any pate, but if you're doing anything meat-based, apparently the red ones are for meat. Higher than 60 degrees! So I'm starting to get some gentle steaming. And the odd bubble. I'm a little bit scared and a little bit nervous, but also extremely excited. So it's really hot now. What is it on? Nearly 80. So I've decided I'm going to start putting the jars in now and see how I go. You can really see the steam now. I'm going to lift up the centre and place in my big jars. So in my head I was imagining them all standing up on top of each other, but as they're open, that's not going to happen. So they're just going to be a bit randomly in there with the lids open. So this is my technique. Let the water be filled up, find a little space, and then let it go. Okay, I can't get any more in. There's a few with a tiny bit showing, but I'm hoping the steam will heat that up really hot. And my 6 left over will have to go in a second batch. So it's just risen really quite quickly from being just laid on the floor for a while. And then I'm going to make it go right up to as near as 100 as I can get. And then count for maybe 2 minutes on the clock. And then that should be nice and sterile, and then I can pick them out. Okay, it can't get any higher than that, and the thermometer is moving around because of the bubbles. Do you want to look inside? I do. Here we go, gently does it. Oh my god, look at that. Ah! Okay, that's enough sterilising for one day. Time to make the compote. So if you want to see how I make my kiwi and apple compote and jams, then please subscribe, press like, and hopefully you're liking what I'm doing. Bye!